Picture this. You're riding solo through the dusty red roads of Utah. The sky's on fire with the last light of sunset, and all you hear is the steady thump of your engine echoing off the cliffs. Then suddenly your GPS goes blacked out, no signal. No map, just you and a motorcycle you've only known for 3 weeks. That's when the question hits you. Can I really trust this bike? Now imagine this choice. Would you rather be on a $15,000 German flagship, fully loaded with tech, or on a $6,600 underdog nobody talks about? That's the proposition behind the Benelli TRK 502X, a bold-looking adventure bike that promises everything you need and nothing you don't. But can it really deliver? Let's take a closer look, starting with what your eyes can't ignore. Asterisk this. Thing doesn't look like a beginner's bike. When you first see the TRK 502X, what hits you is presence. It looks big, bold, purpose-built. From the wide tank and dual headlights to the spoked wheels and tall windscreen, this bike doesn't whisper budget. It looks ready to cross continents. Here's the twist. Benelli has Italian roots. Founded in 1911, but today it's owned by Chinese manufacturer Kuje Motor. That mix creates something unusual. European design with Asian pricing. On paper, that's a pretty tempting combination. The TRK doesn't hide what it is. It's not minimal. It's not sleek. It's tall, chunky, a little aggressive, and completely unapologetic. It's the kind of bike people stare at twice. First with doubt, then with curiosity, but visuals only get you so far. The real story is what's going on under the skin, asterisk, underneath that adventure-ready. Bodywork lives a 500cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine, pushing out 47 horsepower and 46 newton meters of torque. It's not a speed demon, but it's got a calm, steady pull, predictable and smooth. Just what you want when navigating unknown back roads or hauling gear on a long trip. The 6-speed gearbox is slick, not sporty. Think utility, not thrill ride. Then there's the elephant in the room, the weight. At 518 pounds, 235 kilograms, this bike is no lightweight. You'll feel it during slow turns, packing maneuvers, or tight off-road spots. But on the highway, that weight becomes stability. She feels planted, composed. The wheels are spoked, 19 inches up front, 17 at the rear, wrapped in dual sport tires. Not made for gnarly single track, but perfectly capable on gravel, fire roads, and wet pavement. Suspension dash-wise, you get an inverted front fork and a preload adjustable rear monoshock. Not fancy, not high-end, but capable enough for most light to moderate off-road use. And then comes the simplicity. There's no ride modes, no traction control, no fancy electronics. The dash is half analog, half digital, basic but clear. Just the info you need. And that 20-liter tank, it gives you close to 250 miles of range if you take it easy. That's enough to disappear into the wild for a whole weekend. In short, it's not high-tech, but it is high-function. And that's a big deal when you just want to ride, not babysit settings. Asterisk, I took the TRK out on a chilly morning ride. City traffic, empty highways, and a few backwoods detours. First thing you feel is the ergonomics. The seating position is upright and commanding. The handlebars are wide. The seat, firm, but comfortable enough for long stretches. You feel like you're in control, high above the road, with a panoramic view. On tarmac, your ride's solid. You don't get much vibration, even at cruising speeds. Wind protection is decent. The front screen takes most of the blast off your chest without buffeting your helmet too much. Cornering? It's deliberate. You have to guide it in. It's not flickable like a sport tourer. But once it's leaned over, it holds its line. Predictable, safe. Now off the pavement, I took it down a loose gravel trail with some water crossings. And soft dirt. No drama. The tires held well, and the suspension soaked up minor bumps without feeling harsh. You can stand on the pegs, shift your weight, and it responds well. For a heavy ADV, it's not intimidating dot, of course. It's not built for hardcore trails or technical climbs. But for 80% of what most riders will ever tackle, it holds its own dot. In city use, the weight shows up again. Filtering through traffic or doing tight U-turns takes some effort. But once you get used to its rhythm, it becomes second nature dot. It's not fast, it's not flashy, but it feels dependable. And sometimes, that's exactly what you want. But what about the downsides? Every bike has them. This one too. Asterisk, let's start with the obvious. This is a heavy motorcycle. For newer riders or smaller frames, it can feel bulky, especially in stop-and-go situations or slow-speed maneuvers. Then there's the lack of electronics. No riding modes, no traction control, not even ride-by-wire. If you're coming from a modern sport touring machine, this might feel bare. The dashboard is basic, functional, but uninspired. If you're into tech, this might feel like a step backward. And then there's the support network. In the US, Benelli's dealer presence is still growing. Parts might take longer. Service might require a bit more planning. For some riders, that's a deal breaker. But here's the thing. Those same downsides are what make this bike appealing to others. It's raw. It's analog. It's simple in a way that feels refreshing. For some, that's a limitation. For others, it's freedom. Asterisk. So let's go back to that first question. You're alone, out of range, somewhere beautiful, but remote. Would I trust the TRK 500 2X in that moment? Honestly, yes. Not because it's perfect, but because it's consistent. It's solid. It does what it says it will do, without asking for too much in return. Doesn't try to be everything. It just tries to be enough. And for a lot of riders, that's exactly what they're looking for. So, would I take it on a real adventure? Absolutely. Would. You? That's your call. Let me know in the comments. And if this video helped you, hit that like button and subscribe for more no-nonsense motorcycle reviews.